Okay guys, so now we're moving on to example 2. V is equal to U plus AT, and we want T to be the formula. Now at this point, you may have noticed that what we have to do is decide what we're going to do first, because T, while it is being multiplied by A, U is also being added onto it. So, would we divide by A first, or minus U first? Well, what we do in these questions with multiple operations is a general rule of thumb is to just work from the furthest away term and work towards the subject. We do this just to make life easy for us, so we don't have lots of letters everywhere, make our work harder and messier than it needs to be. So let's just go and solve the question. So the reason we do the term furthest away first is because here, if we did divide by A first, we'd have to divide V by A, which would be fine, but then we'd also have to divide U by A, which it would make our work quite messy. So it's better, general rule of thumb, work from the furthest term away. So let's go ahead and do that. So the furthest term away isn't V, because that's on the other side of the equation. We don't have to worry about that. First, it's the furthest term away that is having an impact on the subject of the formula that we want it to be, which is T. So because U is being added onto AT, what we do is we minus U, just like we did in the last lesson. So this will give us V minus U. Minusing U from here cancels that, and then we're just left with AT. Now, we want T to be the subject of the formula, and it's currently being multiplied by A. So to counter that, we divide both sides by A to give us V minus U as all over A equal to T, and then again, we want it to be on the left-hand side for good form. T is equal to V minus U over A. And there's our final answer. So you can see here how we decide what to do first, the furthest away term that's having an impact on the subject of the formula, or what we want to be the subject of the formula, which is T. And the reason again for this is because we have to do all our operations to every single term in the formula. And if we hadn't moved this over first, what we'd have to do is we'd have to divide by A, so it'd be V over A is equal to U over A plus AT, or plus T. But it's not very good because it gets a bit messy very quickly. It'd be something like this is equal to U over A plus T. And we can see how this is a lot more complicated than if we just minus U first, so that we can group that together, because this is just the same as that is just the same as that. But it's a lot nicer and it's a lot easier when it looks like this, and it's also better form, and you're a lot more likely to get marks like that. So that's the reason we do in general the furthest term away that's having an impact. So let's move on to our second example.